You don't necessarily need a raise. What you need is a strategy to get more money so you can be up and out of the US. I recently decided to start kind of pivoting into more of this content because it's something that's so important to me. Because it changed my life. Back in January of 2024, I was laid off from my job, and it was crazy because December of 2023, I had just signed another contract for another year of work. And so when they laid me off in January, it blew my freaking top off. I was so surprised because after I felt secure in December, I went and splurged for Christmas. So when January rolled around and they let me go, all I had in my savings account was $700. $700. And I was so stressed out because it was only 6 days before the rent was due. Right. And the check that I usually would put away for rent, I had spent that check, I think, on something that was important, some last minute fix or something, because I counted on that next check coming in, but that next check was really never going to come in. And I was so freaking stressed out. But something after like a month of like trying to learn all of these new ways to make some money, after trying to figure out what I was going to do, something in me just said, never again. Never again. Never again am I begging for raises. Never again am I acting like these people are my family. Never again am I acting like these people are my friends. This is a business relationship. This is transactional. You hired me for something, I'm going to do my job, and that is it. So from that moment on, like everything changed. I ended up having to go to another job that was well beneath, like, I'm sorry, but it was beneath my abilities truly and my credentials. I went to making 17 bucks an hour and I had $700 in my savings account and rent was due in 6 freaking days. Do you hear me? I also had just purchased a brand new car and my car note was almost $700 a month. My insurance was $200 a month. What the heck was I was supposed to do? So I was scratching and scrounging for about 2 months before getting another position, another job somewhere else. And when I got that job there, I was like, okay, well, I need to quit this other job over here. But then something like went off like a light bulb, like, but what if you kept both? And that's how the whole wonderful story went. I decided to keep both. Then the position that laid me off in January begged for me back. So I negotiated a really like ridiculous number just so they would go away, but they agreed to pay it to me. And I decided right then and there, if I go back to this position, I'm gonna get me. And that I definitely did. I went back in there and I cleaned up. I got what I was worth. I got what I was worth. And because it was replacing the $17 an hour job, that was hard to let go. I felt like my soul was being drained up in there anyway, because I just felt like I was being so underutilized and it made me just feel like I was getting dumber by the second. But anywho, I decided to do that. And after the course of a year, and some change or so, maybe 18 months. I'm now in a position where I have given myself 45 days to quit my jobs. Today is day 39. So I'm making my way towards like full entrepreneur version of me. And I just want to help people do the same. So I say all that to say that you don't need another raise, because I remember begging for a raise and I got 50 cents. Now, you might not be like me. Maybe you rolling in the dough, but there was a time where I begged and my $17 an hour went to 17.50. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with 50 cents? That was barely putting some gas up in the car to get to work. So many things changed in the year of 2024, because not only that, but I also went remote on both positions. So that was my first time like really experiencing full-time remote work and not just hybrid. And it was just amazing, honestly. I seen myself from a different lens, the kind of lens that shows the kind of woman that I always wanted to be, the kind of woman who could stand in not just with words and encouragement for people, but could actually help people. You know, I had a really close friend who needed some assistance. I was able to help her. I was able to help myself. I was able to also get myself out of that freaking $700 a month car, because after moving abroad, I realized I ain't coming back, or not no time soon anyway. So I decided to give the car back, but because it was a brand new car fresh out the lot and I just got it, I did have to pay some money back. I wouldn't have had that money to pay back had I not decided to create a strategy a year and some change before to get to my freaking money and to make sure I was never in that situation again. So begging for a raise of 50 cents or $1, or if you like Miss Highballer and that's $2 extra for your raise, wonderful. Okay, whatever. What are you going to do as your strategy so that you can actually take a freaking break, take some type of sabbatical, 6 months off, 3 months off, a year off, to actually enjoy the money that you're making? Like, especially if you got kids. If you got children, your babies are really wanting to experience life with their mommy that doesn't consist of they go to school from 7 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. You don't get home till 6, dinner's at 7, bedtime's at 8:30, and you do it all over again tomorrow. That school got your kid more than you do. And I had to realize that that was a harsh truth I had to see for myself. And my daughter just about to be 16, and I realized just how badly I wanted to spend more time with her and give more of my effort to her, but I couldn't because I was in these golden handcuffs of, and it won't even really good golden handcuffs, because it was really just paycheck to paycheck. But again, once I changed that mindset and I worked multiple jobs and I did what I had to do to get to where I wanted to be, and I put a plan in action and I worked that plan and I strategized and I course corrected and I audited myself and I edited myself. I finally have found myself sitting on a really nice nest egg where I can afford to do stuff I want to do. Wow. It almost feels like it's a new version of me, but it almost feels like it's not me in a sense, because all I've ever known myself to do was work myself to the bone. And I was going to work myself to the bone anyway, but instead in 2024 I decided to do it softly and not like I was still working hard, but not working nearly as hard as when I was going in the office to one job. So that's my first thing. I am the president of remote work. Girl, get you a remote job, get up out them people's face and letting them bother you and get on your nerves and tell you that you're a family until you're not. And get home and relax and be able to speak how you want to speak, and sit back in your chair and sit in your pajamas if you want to, and cook lunch on your cook dinner on your lunch break. You deserve to be able to do that. Some people won't find the value in that, but I know that if you found my video, you find the value in that. So no, you don't need another raise. You need a strategy. You need a plan. You need that one foot in front of the other on a journey that is already laid out in front of you. You need to be able to see it. You need to be able to visualize it. You need to know that each day, each week, each month, exactly what you're working towards, because it will carry you further, way further than I can like even remotely tell you, honestly. So I am a soft exit strategist, and I'm going to link my information below. I do have a stack and exit soft blueprint where I talk about overemployment, but I do understand in this day and age with AI putting up fake jobs and all of these things, I understand that it's getting harder for people to find employment. So people are like, you talking about 2 jobs? I can't even get one. Girl, there's a way to get 3 jobs if that's what you want. There's a way, and I got it. So purchase the soft blueprint for the stack and exit plan for $27. It's going to show you what to do, how to work it. Let's go ahead and get into your 2 positions by the end of the year, so that by this time next year, you can be go ahead and mapping out where you about to move to. Like, you can have several prospects and be like, I'm gonna go here in November and here in December. You'll have your whole thing lined out because you started now. Future you is going to be so thankful that you did this. So anyways, I'm gonna stop blabbing my mouth. I hope this video was helpful. You do not need another raise. You need a freaking strategy. You need a blueprint. And I'm here to help you because this is exactly what I needed Lord, if somebody could have just took my hand in January of 2024 and showed me the way, I would have been so thankful. But it's okay. I had to learn it the hard way. And sometimes the best lessons are learned that way. But let's learn it the soft way. In 2025, let's learn it the soft way. Let's pay for coaches and pay for healing, pay for therapy. Let's do the stuff so that we can get to where we want to get to without having to take all the detours that the lesson usually teaches us when we do it the hard way. We don't want to do that, right? Okay. Well, I hope to see you there. I really do hope to see you there because I want us to get free, girl. I want to see you in Mexico next year and we sipping Mai Tais with our little toes in the sand. It's possible. I just did it not too long ago, and today's Tuesday. I just did it this afternoon. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and thanks so much for watching. And please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things that support a brand new channel because it really means a lot to me. Okay. Bye.